3 in the forenoon, and 1 post-lunch session. The forenoon session is delivered by Dr. Tomson at 9 a.m., Wellness Consultant, Thailand. Mrs. Olga Boldyreva at 10 a.m., International Yoga Teacher, Russia. Dr. B.R. Ramakrishna at 11:30 a.m., Vice Chancellor, Yesvyasa University, Bangalore. And post-lunch session is delivered from Mr. Ajay Tokas at 2:30 p.m., Yoga Teacher, New Delhi. So this will be the morning session. The post-lunch session will be followed by the valedictory of the international webinar at 3:30 p.m. So now I invite Dr. Suman to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Tomson Jose, to the gatherings. Over to you, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi. Good morning, everyone. Today, I welcome you all for the International Webinar on Yoga Day 2. Today's our first session guest speaker, as you always, Dr. Tomson Jose. It's my greatest pleasure to welcome you, Dr. Tomson. On behalf of our institution, organizing committee, and all our students, I welcome you, Dr. Tomson Jose. So before starting the session, let me introduce him to you. Dr. Tomson Jose has done his Bachelor of Naturopathy and Yogic Science, BNYS, from Government Nature Cure and Yoga Medical College and Hospital, affiliated by Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore, from the year 2012 and completed in the year 2017. His work experience is he has worked at various naturopathic hospitals and modern medicine hospitals across Karnataka, India, as a part of 1 year rotatory internship. He also worked as an assistant professor in Department of Acupuncture and Modern Medicine, as well as medical officer in the Department of Cardiology and Pulmonology at Arogyadhama Integrated Hospital and Wellness Center at Yesvyasa Yoga, Bangalore, for 1 year. He has sent from Yesvyasa, Bangalore to Union Yoga Ayurveda to Singapore as a guest faculty to conduct seminars on integration of acupuncture and yoga for a month. Currently, he is working as a well-being practitioner at Banyan Tree Wellbeing Sanctuary, Phuket, Thailand since 2019 till date. His overall awards and achievements are, he has won gold medal for being the batch topper in BNYS, sponsored by Jindal Institute of Naturopathy, Bangalore, India. Also, he has stood as a batch topper in all the 4 years. He has won the second place in the men's group of yoga championship conducted by Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore. He has won inter-college men's badminton singles title. He has conducted yoga classes for general public for 1 month, organized by CCRYM and JSS Ayurveda Medical College, Mysore, Karnataka, India, on the occasion of International Yoga Day in the year 2016. And he was invited to deliver a talk in a yoga and its benefits at Narayana Hrudayalaya Cardiac Institute, Bangalore, India, on the occasion of International Yoga Day in the year 2018. Once again, I heartily welcome you, Dr. Tomson Jose. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Suman and Dr. Lakshmi. A very good morning to all of you. So that was a great introduction, and it is my real privilege to deliver a talk on my mother institution. It would be great if I can see some of you can, turn on your cameras just so that I'll get a feel that I am interacting to somebody out there. And I really congratulate the coordinators, not for inviting me, but for arranging this topic, which is career opportunities after BNYS, which back when I was a student, we never got to hear anybody talking about what career opportunities do we have after BNYS. So I think many of you would be in the initial years, or some of you are almost in the 3rd or 4th years, and you'll be thinking what to do after BNYS, or some of you at least might be confused, like, did I make a wrong choice choosing BNYS, or is there any so-called job opportunities after BNYS? So I hope this session, from what I can share to you, it will really benefit you, I hope. And I know it is just 1 hour session, so try to post questions because you will have a lot of questions while we go through the topic. If you don't feel comfortable unmuting yourself and answering, go for putting the question in your chat box so I can see through the chat box and answer some of those questions. If I can ask the host to enable me to share my screen, I can start sharing the screen. So meanwhile, yes, my experiences. Yes, let me try it. I hope you are able to see my screen. Are you able to see the screen that I have shared? Can somebody respond?
Yes, Thompson. Yes, we can continue.
Yes, yes. All right, cool. So that was something about me. Dr. Suman has already mentioned. So the thing is, I was also the same position that you were in. I was also a student of our GNCYCM CNH Mysore. And I have also gone through all the emotions, all the thought processes that you are having. So I think you would be able to relate to what I say. So before we talk about the career opportunities, it would be good to know why you have chosen naturopathy. Just post in the comment box, in the chat box, what made you to choose naturopathy? Reasons would be many, right? Like some of you might have done very good research and might have chosen BNYS. Some of you might come here, like somebody has recommended, so you just randomly, okay, let me give it a try, and you're here. And some of you might be like, okay, I was good in yoga, I was a yoga champion, so I want to do something related to yoga. Some of you might be like, I want to do a medical course, and you randomly fall to do the BNYS. Another group should be like the entrance trials got you here, like you tried for BAMS, BHMS, or whatever it be, but the entrance trials got you to BNYS. And the last one can be our medical reason, which I think a majority of the group you here should be falling in, which is the idiopathic reason. I'm sure majority of you will be knowing what is idiopathic reason. At least after, I can excuse first years, but after first year, like so from second year onwards, you should be knowing what is idiopathic reason. If you don't know, idiopathic reason is like the reason is unknown, and this will help you in your examinations. Like if somebody asks you what is the reason of this disease, if you don't know anything, you can go with idiopathic reason and nobody will question you. And majority of us fall into this group, which is the idiopathic group. We don't know why I'm here, or somehow randomly we fall into this. So whatever be the reason, doesn't matter. Now you are here in BNYS, and I can guarantee you that you are in a very good, you have actually made a very good decision to do BNYS. Have you ever heard about this, this sentence, Jack of all trades, master of none? It is a very famous English quote, very famous, Jack of all trades, master of none. So why I put this quote here is many of us, the problem of the BNYS graduates usually is we feel like we are learning many things. For example, we are learning modern subjects like pharmacology, we are learning about forensic medicine, but we are not really practicing all those things. We learn gynecology in final year, but we are not really authorized, or we are not really licensed to practice that. We also learn physiotherapy, but there are mainstream physiotherapists to do that. We also learn yoga, and there are hundreds, thousands of yoga gurus across the country, across the world. Then where should we position ourselves, right? So this can be a big confusion to most of us. We are learning a lot of things, but there are, kind of masters for all those what you are learning. This can actually lead to a very big confusion. And I would say, don't take it as a disadvantage, like, okay, you are kind of jack of all trades, master of none, but take it as an opportunity that you have a very wide, diverse field to choose from. So you can go for doing masters on any of these. So maybe randomly you have fall into this BNYS and you are thinking now what to do. And if you look into the subjects that we learn in our BNYS, you can actually go and master in all of this. The opportunities are immense and it is so diverse. So without much introductory talk, I know you all are eagerly waiting to see what all opportunities we are having. So let us slowly move onto that. So as I already mentioned, feel free to question. I'm not saying I know everything, but I should be knowing something better than many of you, so I can help you out on that. Yes. Okay. Let me continue. So first and foremost, it would be academic and research. So all the topics that I will share today, don't just think about the remuneration aspect or the job status aspect. Think onto like, do you really have the potential to do that or not? Or will you be happy doing that or not? You should be looking and analyzing it in that from that angle. So whenever I say something, I will be posing a question. So think about like, okay, am I good in that, or is it what my skills are on? And then try to, then try to follow or try to choose the career that you would prefer. First and foremost is academics and research. This would be the very common option many of you might be knowing, which is nothing but doing MD after our BNYS. So you would be knowing this option for sure. Like you can do clinical naturopathy, you can do MD in yoga, acupuncture, nutrition, and dietetics, which is very commonly available in Karnataka, also in other colleges in India. Another thing is you can do this master's in abroad. So if you are planning to get a job abroad, so if you have a country in your mind, for example, you want to get settled in Australia, and that is what you are aiming for, then try to do this MD from Australia, because that will help you to get the license there to practice. So every country has its own license to practice. For something like if you want to practice in UAE, you should have a license called as DHA. So similarly, every country will have their own medical license to practice. Very few countries you can practice without license, like with the current license what we are having from India. But then also you won't be able to do any therapeutic things, like the so-called medical things you will not be able to do. So I was talking about academic and research. So if you are interested to teach, or if you are interested to get into a government position, or if you are interested to become a senior medical officer in the high profile hospitals, then probably you should look into doing this MD. Or you can also look into doing masters like MSc in yoga, psychology, physiology, anatomy, and much more. The list goes on. So you can consider doing an MSc. Doing MSc, probably you should be also doing PhD, then you kind of get equivalent to the MD. Even after MD, you can do PhD. But if you are really looking forward to grow your career on a teaching or an academic basis, this should be the one which you should really consider. You can also see the physiology anatomy. So after doing this MSc in physiology anatomy, you can get selected as professors or as a teaching faculty in modern medical colleges. Like for even MBBS students, you would be able to go as a lecturer or as a professor. So as you can see the job scope, you can become professors in academic institutions. You can go as a researcher. So nowadays, the research field in yoga industry is widely blooming. You would be knowing SVSA is doing a lot of researches, NIMHANS is doing, and a couple of other institutions in North India is also doing. So this is just from India. Similarly, from other countries also, there are a lot of researches happening. So the research field is just a budding field, and which you can really target if you are an academician. So that was the first option which you can choose, and which is the very common, and most of you should be knowing this. Moving on is the hospitality industry, which is currently I am working in. And to get into an hospitality industry, if you love to work on a world-class luxury standards, like if you would like to deliver your service to high-profile clients and get a very good pay for that, then you should really consider doing this. Hospitality industry is there in India also, and you can choose abroad. If you consider Indian, like, okay, so being an Indian, working in India, and being an Indian working in other countries. So when you go to other countries, there will be something called as expat allowance. which is like you're coming from another country to another country. So your pay will be considerably higher when you go to another country. For example, I am working in Banyan-Tree, Thailand. Think about Banyan-Tree having a property in India, and I am getting the same position in India. My salary will be considerably lesser because I am a local there. So that is the difference. So you have to think about hospitality in India and hospitality in other countries as a different entity. So again, these days, as the internet has widely grown, people are really aware about the importance of living well and living healthy. And the wellness industry has grown way beyond what we think. People are really into all those wellness retreats, meditations, yoga, healthy living, diet and nutrition. These all things are really, really getting popular. So is the opportunity in the hospitality industry. Just to give you a perception, the company which I am working in, they actually started the wellness department here in Phuket, Thailand. And now they are planning, just in 2-3 years, they are planning to expand it to the other properties like many other countries, Maldives, Mauritius, Mozambique. Like they are having already a list of countries to which they want to expand this. So there will be a lot of opportunities coming up there also. The opportunities will include, like, you can get hired as wellness consultants, in which you will be in a position to deliver consultation, which is a lifestyle consultation. You can be going there as a wellness practitioner or well-being practitioner, in which you won't be doing any therapeutic things there, but you will be doing non-invasive techniques. Say, like, you will be doing posture alignment classes, you will be doing some sorts of physiotherapy kind of sessions. You will be delivering diet and nutrition counseling. You will be planning diet and nutrition diet plan for them. So all non-invasive techniques. We won't be really doing acupuncture. Some places offer, depending on the country in which, and the license aspect, which I was saying. So you would be delivering all those things. Another one is spa managers. You also get the opportunity to go work as a spa manager, and you can simply go as a yoga instructor. But you will be positioned way above a yoga instructor, because we are actually a package of many things. If you hire a BNYS, they can actually make you to practice yoga. They can actually make you to practice diet and nutrition, bit of body anatomy. So anything related to that, any activity they can plan. So hospitality industry really look forward for hiring BNYS graduates. So yoga instructors, you are having, BNYS is having a very superior position than a yoga instructor in the hospitality industry. And if you're really interested to getting into the hospitality industry, the thing is, you have to really have your standards set really high, not only in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your language skills, your physique, like your personality. I'm not saying you should be beautiful or good looking. It is the how you look. Like, say, for example, you shouldn't be obese, or you shouldn't be looking unhealthy. So when you are going and dealing with the international, so the clients you get will be really high profile clients. Here we have got many of the Bollywood stars. Many of them have come here and have taken the wellness retreats here. So, and many of the directors, all high profile clients you will be getting, and you will have to meet their expectations or meet that standards. So how to reach to that standard, I will be covering up at the end of this talk. The job perks include, like, you get a very good pay, you get to meet very high profile clients. So during my 2-3 years of service here, I have met many high profile clients. And that is actually a very good perk. You will get to meet people whom you have never expected in your life. And you can grow in this field. If the company finds you potential, you can grow to manager, director levels, even up to director levels. So that huge is the potential in hospitality industry. Any questions? I hope no. All right, let us move on. Another one is dietitian. Why dietitian? If you are interested in nutrition and dietetics, and if you have dreamt about building a career over it, then this is a great opportunity, especially now, because most of the modern medicine hospitals are also having a dietitian now. Something like if a person gets admitted to the hospital, whatever be the disease or whatever be the condition, once he is getting discharged, before that, they will appoint a consultation with the dietitian of that hospital to plan the diet for the person after he gets discharged. And many of the high class hospitals are doing this, and the opportunity is not only limited in India, but it is limited. I mean, it is even in the abroad also, it is getting widely popular. So if you are interested in this dietitian thing, you can go for MD, Nutrition Dietetics, or you can just go for an MSc, Nutrition Dietetics, which can be done even on distance education. Or there is something which is called as PGDND, which is PG Diploma in Nutrition Dietetics. You can also consider doing that. So MD is a full-time course. So if you can't afford to go for 3 years of MD nutrition, you can go for doing the distance education on MSc Nutrition Dietetics and PGDND. And again, as I said in the first topic, the MD, if you are planning to get settled somewhere abroad, and if you have that country in your mind, try to get this qualification from that country, because that will actually help you to get an opportunity there in that country. And what is mentioned there, that bottom is, it is emerging as a supportive therapy. Whichever be the system of medicine, diet and nutrition is gaining its popularity, and it is being combined to other therapies also. So opportunities are again widely open. All right, moving on is a very celebrated topic or very celebrated job position, which probably many of you might be thinking about going to do after BNYS, which is nothing but acupuncturist on cruise lines. Why this is a very celebrated kind of a topic is, if many of us like to travel, right? And if you can travel and work by doing that, or get paid by doing traveling, then this will be the best option that you should really try getting into. To get into an acupuncturist on cruise lines, you should have an MD in acupuncture, and currently the MD that they are accepting is one MD acupuncture from OIUCM University in Sri Lanka. So if you are planning to do this, this is not the MD acupuncture that you should do from the colleges from India. You can do that, which would be an additional benefit, but they are really considering MD acupuncture from the university in Sri Lanka, which is called as OIUCM University. And also you should be doing a course called as STCW course, which is basically the first aid course, or kind of a fire and safety course whenever you are getting into a cruise ship. If there is any accident happening, how you can get rid of that, or how you can overcome that. So which is basically a 2 weeks course, if I'm not wrong. That can be done from India. And once you get selected, like once you get the MD done and the STCW done, you will have to apply for the interview. And once you get through the interview process, you will have to go for a 1 month of training, which will happen in San Francisco. And yes, currently, because of the corona issue, everything is on hold. But once things gets back to normal, it will be at San Francisco. You will have to go for 1 month training. The training would include training you with the standards what they are having. So again, it would be a luxury class business. So they will have their own standards set. So you'll have to do that 1 month training, and then you can get on board as an acupuncturist. And it is not a very normal position. It is a very high position on a cruise ship, because you will get your single room accommodation, and not many staffs or not many associates on a cruise ship get single room accommodation. So you are really considered as a doctor position on a cruise ship, very respected position on a cruise ship. The perk of doing this is As I said, you can travel, very highly paid job, and you get to meet, again, many international clients, high profile clients. Yes, and you can also do acupuncture abroad. The masters can be done abroad, which we already covered in the first topic, in the MD acupuncture, which can be done in other countries, which I said an example was Australia. Like if you are planning to get settled there, go and do the MD acupuncture from there. So it would be easy for you to get the license from that country. I hope things are clear here and we can move on. Next one is hospital administration. Consider you are a person who would like to continue associating with hospitals, or you would like to get associated with the health sector, but you don't want to see patients. You don't want to be on the clinical side. Then this is the one which you can consider, which is basically MBA in hospital administration, Master in Business Administration, 2 years course. And you are better, I recommend to do it full time because you will gain a lot of practical skills during that full-time education. Yeah, and you can do this in India as well as abroad. Let me give you like what would be your job scope or what work you would be doing after this, after doing hospital administration. Every hospital will have an administrator to look into the functioning of the hospitals. It actually ranges from which doctor to come in, from where you'll be managing the pharmacy, you'll be managing each and everything. Everything will be under your control. So you get to rule all the other doctors, all the other nurses, decide on the pharmaceutical aspects, decide each and everything for that hospital. So your role, your job will be to run the hospital with profits or with good values. You can even get up into a position as a CEO of big hospital brands by starting with this hospital administration. You can do this from India as well as from abroad. So again, as I said, if you are doing it from abroad, it has hold its own value, and it would be great if you can do it from abroad. Doesn't matter if it is from India, your plans are to settle, to work in India, go for that. Even if you do that from India and you have very good potential, you can get employed outside as well. The remuneration aspect, if I want to talk about, very highly paid, at least not in the initial years. Maybe the initial years you will have to work as maybe assisting the senior administrator, or you will have to do the job for a very mere salary pay. But going on, if you are really potential, if you are really talented, you can have a fantastic career doing this hospital administration. So basically this is for, you can get associated with the health sector, but you are not on a clinical side. You are not treating patients here. All right, next is a medical exercise specialist. So you might have heard about physiotherapist, or you might have heard about personal trainers, gym instructors. So these will come way above all these positions. So if you are interested in exercising and if you want to build a career around it, medical exercise specialist is the one that you have to look into. Now, what medical exercise specialist does is gym instructors just work on maybe conditioning the body or building some muscle, whereas a medical exercise specialist plan exercises according to the health and condition of that person. For example, a person is having, I don't know, maybe a slipped disc or a severe back pain, simple severe back pain. And whenever he is doing the weightlifting, his back pain is increasing. So as a doctor, as a medical exercise specialist, you should be knowing what is the problem, or which muscle is the weakest muscle and which muscle you should train, which all movements will actually increase the problem or decrease the problem. And you will have to plan an exercise according to the condition of that person. So you will be considered way above, you will be paid way above than a personal trainer, because you are actually working as a doctor there also, because you are treating the person through exercise. And this is again gaining a lot of popularity these days, at least not if in India, but in abroad, in other countries, this is gaining a lot of popularity because people are really getting more conscious about their health and exercises. If you are interested in reading about medical exercise specialist, I would recommend, yes, if you can unmute. Yes, I hope that disturbance is gone. Yes, so if you are into this medical exercise specialist, I would recommend looking into ACE, which is American Council of Exercise, and I also ISSA, which is International Sports Science Association. You can look into these two, which are offering this. Yes, it is mute now, I think. So I was talking about, yes, which is offering this medical exercise specialist thing. And this is not a full-time course. You can do it online, but you will have to go to their specific centers to do the examination and get qualified. So the examinations can be tough because ACE is a very, very well-known or renowned organization that is giving out certifications for personal trainers and medical exercise specialists in particular. To do this, you should have a proper background of medicine, and we are having that. So you can show that you are already a medical graduate, then you will be allowed, or you will be given the access to do this medical exercise specialist thing. Here, why people will choose you over this personal trainer? Of course, now you will be knowing you can do the thing what the personal trainer is doing, also way more than what a personal trainer is doing. So that is another opportunity that you can look into. Another one is, which is again a good opportunity gaining popularity these days, a chiropractor. So you might have seen that magic doctor coming and cracking necks of people, like making the cracks, the spinal adjustments, and they are fixing the issue. So you can be considered as a really magician, like, you know, they crack and instant relief is there by this practice. So if you have got fascinated with it, again, it is gaining a lot of popularity. The problem is it is considered as a pseudoscience even now, and many countries are not having a specific body to license this. But countries like US, UK, Australia, they have colleges offering this. So it won't be a problem to practice this on those countries. In India, if you ask, as far as my knowledge goes, we don't have a separate body for chiro practitioners. So as this is a small topic which is covered in our BNYS, if you are good in this, you can also incorporate this into your practice, and for sure, you will get a lot of people to do this spinal adjustments or the crackings. So chiropractor is a 4-year course, which is a master's course. And if we have a medical bachelor's already, you can get it done in 3 years. And I have put 2 colleges, which personally I have researched upon and which I have found, which is Life University in Marietta, Georgia. And another college which you can look into is Sherman College of Chiropractic in South California. These 2 colleges are very popular, world-class standards. So if you are interested to do this, you can get it done in 3 years, but you will have to convince them with the certification what we are having, which wouldn't be a bigger problem, because we are having the 5.5 years medical certificate. And here, as in Thailand, if you ask where I am working, here also we don't have a medical body for this, but people can do this. As there is no medical body, there won't be any restriction for you to practice or to do this. So chiropractic is another option you can try doing. I don't see any question. Is there any question there? No, if there is somebody, if there is any moderator or if somebody can put in the questions to me, that would be great. I am not able to see the chats. Okay, let me continue. Now, probably many of you might be practicing as a duty doctor in many of the allopathic hospitals there in Mysore, which I also did. Nothing wrong, nothing harm. But I don't really recommend you to practice that even after your BNYS, because that is not our system of medicine and your growth would be really restricted there. Still, if you are really fascinated about working in the emergency department or getting associated with the modern medicine, then I have something for you, which is called as PGDEMS, PG Diploma in Emergency Medicine, Emergency Medical Services. This is a 12-month course which can be done from India. So there is an institution in Pune offering this. Go do the research on that. Eligibility can be any. So we like MBBS, BHMS, BAMS, BSMS, BNYS is also falling under the list. So you can also go and do this emergency medicine diploma, which is there for 12 months. Once you do this, your job scope would be like you can get hired as an emergency medicine doctor in the casualty. So you can work in the triage. I hope most of you know what a triage is. Like when a patient is coming to the casualty, you will have to do the assessment and understand the seriousness of the person. Okay, whether this person should be kept in the casualty or just prescribe some medicines and send them back home, or should he or she requires emergency attention or not. So basically you're kind of streamlining the people coming into the casualty. You can also get posted as the ICU, intensive care unit. You can get the doctor, the duty doctor position in intensive care units, depending on your experience, skill, and your talent. So if you are interested in that, to do emergency medicine or to get associated with modern medicine in India, go find doing this PG diploma in emergency medicine. Without doing this and without just BNYS, I really don't recommend you to continue practicing as a duty doctor in modern medicine hospitals. Maybe for now you will feel I'm getting a decent pay, but it is not a very sustainable thing and you won't grow. Even if you work for 20 years, you will just be a duty doctor there. Yes, Madan Mohan has raised hand. Go ahead. Madan Mohan, would you like to ask something? All right, let me continue. Now, if you are a person with the same interest to work on the modern medicine hospitals, but you want to work abroad, then I have something which is called as a paramedic. So paramedics is again getting a lot of popularity, especially during this pandemic situation, wherein you will be considered, as you can see on the picture, especially this hiring is happening to UK. So in UK, there is a system called as paramedic, wherein you will be given an ambulance with the whole setup of a casualty, or all emergency systems are arranged. And people can call from any place and you will have to go to them and give them or deliver the first aid or give the emergency treatment, what is there. So you might think it can be an accident. You can get calls only from an accident scene, which is not. People can call from their home, maybe just for a fever or any simple problem. They just don't want to come to the hospital. So being the paramedic, you will have to go there, do an assessment and decide whether you can treat by giving medicines there or should that person be shifted to the hospital. If that person should be shifted to the hospital, in that ambulance, what you have come in, you have to shift them to the hospital, giving the first aid or the proper emergency care. It doesn't need to be an ambulance. They can just give you a car with all the emergency medicines and you can move around with that car as well. So maybe in a day you can get 5 calls. You have to just move around find the location, deliver the treatment for the 5 people, you are done for the day. So you are not working in a hospital, but you are basically moving around in an ambulance or in a hospital car. If it is a car and the person should be shifted back to the hospital, you will have to call the ambulance and do the necessary arrangements. Eligibility, we fall under the eligibility criteria. So if you are any eyes doctor MBBS, you can go be a paramedic. For doing this, there is a 3 months bridge course. Of course, in countries like UK, they have their own standards. The medical procedures will slightly vary. Also, they will train you with the necessary emergency managements. And this 3 months course is usually happening in New Delhi. So you can go there and do this 3 months course. There are institutions offering this 3 months course. So you can research upon that. And you should be having an IELTS score. Probably many of you will be knowing what is an IELTS exam, which is an English language proficiency test. So you should have, if I'm not wrong, you should have a score of all 7 to get into this. And if you are done with the 3 months course, then you are done. You will be employed by the NHS, which is a government body there, National Health Service in UK. So you will be getting a permanent visa in which you can take the family there and a very good pay as well. Currently, because of the COVID situations, they have stopped taking paramedics from India, but probably they will resume it very soon. So if you are interested in the modern medicine, but want to settle abroad in a country like UK, this is one option which you can try pursuing. Another one, a very interesting one. I know few of my juniors, my seniors are trying this. So far, I haven't heard about any naturopath cracking it, which is nothing but the UPSC examinations. You can go for doing the IAS, IPS kind of things, which is coming under the UPSC examination. So basically, to do this examination, any degree would suffice. Any degree would do, and we are having a degree from a qualified university, from a recognized university, and you can go to do this. So if you are a person who always has dreamed about serving the society, doctor itself is serving the society, but if you want to expand your range or expand your kind of number of people that you can impact upon, this is something which you can try doing. So you can go research upon the UPSC examination. Exams will be conducted every year, and exams are in 3-step procedures. Like there will be a preliminary exam, there will be a mains exam, and there will be an interview. So it is a very tough examination over 1 year. But if you're really interested, I really recommend UPSC examination. There is another interesting thing which many of us doesn't know, which is called as ICCR, which is the Indian Council of Cultural Relations. And as we are having a yoga background, and yoga is one among the strong cultural representation of India, I know a couple of naturopaths who has got into this Indian Council of Cultural Relations. If you get into this, you would be sent to other countries as a cultural ambassador. So you very high profile job again. And the examination is different. You can go and search on ICCR website and get the further details on this Indian Council of Cultural Relations, in which you can become a cultural ambassador of India. Another one is any PSC exams. Any PSC examinations, you can look into trying, writing, and getting into the government sector. UPSC, I really recommend, go read upon that. ICCR is also equally good. Go look into the ICCR website to get further details, to get to know more about the exam procedures. All right, another one is you can be an entrepreneur. You don't have to always look into jobs somebody else can offer. If you have a wonderful skill and if you have an exclusive idea, you can can start something by your own. And there are many naturopaths who has started things which is really innovative. There is a naturopath who has started, he is doing his supplements, his own company, which is producing supplements, which can be a nutraceutical company, which can be scaled really well. And he is really good in it, he knows what he's doing, and he is doing that. So entrepreneur doesn't mean that you just have to do a naturopathic clinic. And another one, which I recently heard, is somebody is doing started a hospital on natural birthing. Go explore on that, which is a very new idea, thinking out of the box, but something with the qualification that you are holding. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, I always recommend you, at least for a couple of years, go work in a similar industry that you're planning to start, because you will learn a lot of things. Just being a doctor is different, but starting your own business, starting your own setup is actually different. You will have to know many things, not just the therapeutic things or not just the medical things, but how to run it successfully. You will gain a lot of idea. For example, simple example, you want to start some naturopathy luxury hospital by your own. You have some land and you have some investor, and you want to start one brand in India. I would really recommend you go and work in some of the luxury brands, and you will get to know how things are happening, how the world is moving, or what the world is looking for. Then go and start your entrepreneur business. So that will actually help you in getting a very better idea about things happening around. And yes, you can move forward after that. Next, an online influencer, which any of you can do, especially a lot popular during this lockdown period, wherein people are not really going to hospitals to treat, or consultations are happening online. Everything is happening online. So if you are a good public speaker and you have good computer skills, then boom, sky is the limit. You can even think about delivering health talks, YouTube channels, online consultations, group private yoga sessions, or whatnot, website, blogs, and a lot more you can do. And how powerful these things can be is, during the first lockdown last year, yes, here also we had a lockdown for a week. But after that, luckily, thank God, touch wood, we are comparably not really affected with COVID here. But in that first lockdown, I just randomly started a blog page, and I wrote the blog, and I just it was not really a great attempt, I do know that. But I just posted it on my social medias, my Instagram page, I just posted. And I have met one client she's from UK. So she was a patient here, and she came across the blog, and she offered me a chance to write in one of the she is having a kind of a business there, which is also wellness related. So she has her own health talks, blogs, many things there. And she actually invited me to write on her blog, and which was again an entrepreneur approach. So I didn't get any pay for that, but how recognized I was, I just simply wrote during my my lockdown period, and somebody from UK read it, and she invited me to write on her page, which was really cool. So sky can be the limit. So online influencer. And due to time constriction, I haven't covered many more. There are a lot more opportunities that you can choose from, which is Master in Forensic Medicine. You can go to do the Master's, the MSc program on Forensic Medicine. By doing this, you can get into the forensic departments, the criminology kind of, you can get into associate with the police, and many more. Next one, can you please unmute? Can you please unmute? Yes. Yes, another one can be Masters in Public Health. It can be Masters in International Public Health. You can do it either from India or from abroad. By doing that, you can get jobs in epidemiology specialist, or you can get into government policies wherein they are planning health health rules or health laws. They are doing it for the public health. You can do MSc in criminal psychology. There is something called as medical coding expert. Medical coding expert is nothing but whenever big hospitals associate with the insurance companies, they will have all medical codes. And say, for example, a person underwent a surgery for appendicitis. So for that appendicitis, they will have a medical coding. So you should do a course on that, or you will have to learn the codes. Code is nothing but it can be a term for each and every medical term that we use. So what all problems that person was having, you have to convert it into medical codes. So yeah, you can read on that, medical coding expert. Another one is a medical insurance doctor, which is nothing but in countries like UAE, where health insurances are much more popular. And whenever a person is claiming for the medical insurance, you can be hired as a doctor to evaluate that medical claim and to cross-match, see the reports, and actually understand, analyze, and approve. Okay, should I approve the insurance, or should I actually reject it or not? So you can be working on that insurance kind of departments. You can get hired. Palliative care specialist. A lot of our treatments are very good for managing pain, and hence you can be hired as a palliative care specialist. And as I already mentioned, natural birthing centers and much more. Natural birthing centers are getting a lot of popularity. I know a couple of BNYS graduates already started their natural birthing centers in South India. So do find it out, who is that, and get to know more about it. So they are basically doing planning nutrition, even underwater deliveries. So you can actually go research on this natural birthing centers. Now, a few things if you are planning to work abroad, which you have to keep in your mind. As I already mentioned in many of the topics, if you have a country already set in your mind, okay, I want to move into this country, then it is always great to do that course which you like from that country. That will actually benefit you in a lot of ways, especially to get the medical license in that country. It would really, really benefit you. And most of the countries have their own license exam. So once after completing the education from India and you want to move into that country, check the medical examination which is offered by that country. The example is if you want to move into UAE, you will have to do an exam called as DHA, which is the exam which you should clear to work as a licensed medical practitioner there. Similarly, every countries will have their own medical examinations. And again, if you are planning to go abroad, really start working on your language skills. You doesn't have to speak like a native English speaker, but you should be able to convey your thoughts or your ideas in a better way. So many countries, if they want to hire you, you will have to clear exams like IELTS exam, TOEFL exam. So these are again English proficiency testing examinations. And some countries, especially in Southeast Asia, countries like Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, if you want to get into, an IELTS score is not really mandatory, but your English speaking ability should be decent enough. And anybody can do that. This is not a very rocket science. Just start listening to maybe English songs, English movies, start reading something in English. Of course, our texts are in English. So read through our text, and that will itself help you to improve your English talent. Another one is our personality matters. Our personality really, really matters when we go abroad. It is not that we have to look pretty, beautiful, or handsome, but what we are having, it should look healthy. We should have a very healthy physique, first of all, because people really look into you. So when they are coming into you, and you are teaching, for example, you are teaching yoga and you are having a big belly in front, and you are telling, okay, come to me, I can help you to lose weight. See the irony, right? So you should have a very good physique or very good personality. So look into that, start working on that from now. Now you have heard a lot of things, a lot of career opportunities, and you will be thinking, where should I start? What should I do now? So I know there are students from first year, students from second year, third year, and fourth years. If you are somewhere in first and second years and you don't have a plan really, don't worry, you will gain the plan over time. You still have time. What you should do is you have to get the basics correct. Go learn the anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. These things will help you in whichever field you go. So get the basics really, really correct. And start reading about international happenings. When I came here, you know, I learned yoga for 3-4 years and I was practicing even after that. But when we came here, there are many new things related to yoga, which is happening in international level. Something called as yin yoga, the rope yoga, so many things, you know, even something called as Pilates, which is not really yoga, but it is very commonly associated with yoga. So many new streams I found out after coming here. So look into YouTube or whatever it is and start reading widely about international happenings. Work on your language skills, which I already mentioned. Work on your health and physique, because we are naturopathy doctors. We are promoting good health. So you should look good before you advise it to others. Another one is you get in touch with your seniors. For if you are in third year, fourth year, it is time to decide what you have to do after your BNYS. If you haven't done, it is okay, but try to think, where is your interest? It is not that you just have to look into, okay, I just want to get a job soon after BNYS, or I want to make a lot of money after BNYS. It should be like, what is my real passion in? And what is my interest? Because then only you will enjoy your job, or else after 2 or 3 years, you will start hating your job. You will find it very boring to do it. So get to know your interest and start working onto that. And again, if you're third or fourth years, start getting a very good hands-on practice. Whatever treatments you're doing, acupuncture or whatever therapeutic things, get very good hands-on practice. Make use of your internship. Get as much as patients as possible, treat them, gain confidence. Again, read widely about the international happenings, improve your language skills, work on your health and physique, keep in contact with your seniors. Why keep in contact with your seniors? Your seniors are the ones who are going ahead of you, right? So they will get to know many opportunities and getting in touch with them. So I'm not saying get in touch with me, but get in touch with all the seniors who are doing different innovative things. Just simply message them, keep texting them, you know, once in a while, just message, hello, how are you doing? Because then they will remember you. And once there is an opportunity, probably they will call you, and yeah, you will get an opportunity open. So keep in touch with your seniors. I'm really aware my time is running. So if you have any questions, you can ask now, or you can reach me on my social media platforms, either on my Instagram, or you can directly email me on the email ID that you are seeing. I am happy to answer or happy to help. We have a couple more minutes. If there is any questions, I am ready to answer. If not, I am done. And I really thank Dr. Radhakrishna sir for organizing this, and all the other organizers, including Dr. Lakshmi, Dr. Harikanesh, Dr. Bharat sir, and all of them. They all are my teachers, and I am really privileged to deliver this talk for my mother institution. Any questions? Please go ahead, unmute yourself, ask. I know you will have a lot of questions in your mind. That was a very short time and a lot of things to talk. I might have rushed here and there, but still, go ahead, answer, question. Would anybody like to ask? Or else, yes, thank you. So another thing, don't worry. It is all good that you can get after BNYS, because after BNYS, I have never got a situation like I have to sit jobless. I actually got my first job during my internship, before completing the internship. So, you know, if you're really good, if you got the basics correct, people are there to hire you. You know, you will not have to go behind finding jobs. Jobs will come to you. So don't worry. There is a wide, great opportunities ahead of you. Good luck to all of you.
That was a wonderful talk, Dr. Thompson, briefing about the career opportunities to our students. Hope they have been inspired and never let their talent to waste. It's a happy moment to say that Dr. Thompson is our students. Thank you so much, Dr. Thompson. Now I request Dr. Deepak, Associate Professor of our college, to deliver the vote of thanks for the guest speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi. Good morning, everyone. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of Government Nature Cure and Yoga Medical College, Mysore, I would like to thank our international webinar speaker, Dr. Tomson Jose, for sharing us with your knowledge. And this webinar was full of knowledge and interesting things, and it gave deep insight into the topic of career opportunities after BNYS. And I hope it's really helped our students. Thank you so much, Dr. Jose, for useful, knowledgeable session. Also, I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. Radhakrishna Rama Rao, for providing encouragement and support. I would like to thank the audience for the active participation. Also, I like to thank my colleagues and my dear students for the active participation. I extend my gratitude to the organizing committee to organize this program. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak. Without wasting much time, our next guest speaker has been waiting. So without making them wait, I invite Dr. Suman to brief about the guest speaker, Mrs. Olga Boldyreva, and the translator. Over to you, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi. Now we are heading over to our second session of our Day 2 International Webinar on Yoga 2021. Our current session speaker is Mrs. Olga Boldyreva. Olga Boldyreva was a sports faculty at BNYS State University. So she has done her Bachelor of Law at Moscow State University, and she has done a Yoga Therapy at Institute of Oriental Rehabilitation Methods in St. Petersburg, Russia in the year 2015. And she has done a certification on abdominal therapy, sports, anticellulitis, cupping massage, correction of spine function in the case of herniated intravertebral disc, and impaired posture. She is an international yoga teacher at Art of Living organization, basic and advanced courses. She used to be a professional athlete in Europe. She runs her own wellness center for more than 20 years, where she is a coach, yoga, fitness, stretching, and other activities. She also conducted therapeutic massage rehabilitation sessions, for which she is very grateful and glad to be helpful for others. I heartily welcome you for today's session, madam, on behalf of our institution, organizing committee, and all the students. So also today, we have one more guest who helps us in translating Mrs. Olga Boldyreva's session. That is Mr. Gennady Prozorov. He is an interpreter, promoter of Vedic knowledge, and he has done his master's degree in linguistics in the year 1885 from Cuban State University, Russia. So also, we have one more guest, Dr. Subramanya Rao. He is sincerely involved in promoting Swasthya Ayurveda from the year 2004. He is promoting a healthy, happy life by promoting a positive health by organizing lectures, seminar traveling all over the world. I welcome you, sir. Over to you, Mrs. Olga Boldyreva.
Okay. I think we can get started. Olga.
Hello, всем привет.
Hello, everybody.
из солнечной Бурятии. Благодарна за присутствие рядом. И сегодня тема нашей беседы, скорее всего, состоится не сколько профессионально в показе той или иной организации и ее деятельности, как йоги в России или международных отношений. Ну, скорее всего, беседа будет как йоги объединения силы, ума, духа с точки зрения, как она развивается в России и что приносит нам.
I welcome you all and thanks for inviting me for this honor to talk to in such an important meeting, important happening. And my today's speech will be not exactly about the yoga in my country, in Russia, but yoga as the uniting factor that unites both in a person, soul, mind, and body, and unites different people of different countries on their spiritual quests.
И, конечно же, йога, ну, во-первых, это мое первое выступление спикером на такой конференции, на таком вебинаре. Сегодня в современном...
This is my first speech on this type of conference.
Поэтому не обессудьте. Я немного волнуюсь. Ну и, скорее всего, наша беседа состоится в виде каких-то жизненных историй, которые встречались на моем пути во благо совершенства себя и, конечно, какой-то помощи людям.
I'm a little bit worried, but I want to make this speech as a set of some life stories from my experience, the stories of myself and other people who had yoga as a key and as some help on their life path.
Йога в России развивается на сегодня достаточно быстро, практически в каждом городе, в каждом населенном пункте существуют организации, секции с точки зрения физического труда, как укрепление тела.
In Russia, yoga is spreading widely and rather quickly lately, and practically in each town, in each city, there are different yoga centers that are concentrated on different spheres, as far both on developing the physical body.
Также вводится уже на уроках не только в виде физической активности, да, укрепления здоровья, также вводится и как бы такие сева-проекты, акты доброты, где мы объединяемся, выбираем тематику, например, высадка деревьев, уборка, допустим, рек, да, расчищение их загрязнения.
And also, it is not only for developing body, mind, and spirit, but now yoga is spreading. It is uniting like-minded people for some charity activities, for some type of seva. For example, from time to time, we plant the trees in our city, or we, like all the yoga practitioners of our city, go out and clean the local river, make it try to purify it, and so yoga is spreading wider and wider.
К данным проектам «Помощь природе» присоединяются сотни городов России, а также мы проводим определенное количество мероприятий не только помощи природе, но и, соответственно, людям и всем живым существам. Помогаем каждый год, 1 июня, проводим огромное количество в городах акций для онкобольных детей, в День защиты детей.
And so this project Help the Nature, it is spreading, and more people from different other cities from Russia, they're joining this project for making the environment cleaner and better. And one more project which is very important and very socially important, that every year on the 1st of June in Russia, it is the Day of Childhood. we make special actions to help the children who have oncology diseases. And this became a tradition for last several years, and it's a very socially important project.
И также ежегодно 21 июня, в День йоги, сейчас это уже и в России объявлено официально, что очень приятно для международных отношений и такого количества объединения душ. Мы также приурачиваем...
Which is also interesting and very beneficial that in Russia now it is also accepted the 21st of June, the International Yoga Day. It is officially accepted in Russia, and this gives a very good feeling.
Во многих городах мы объявляем в парках, в скверах, да, единомышленников по йоге, инструкторов, учителей, и проводим 108 кругов Сурья-намаскар, где популяризируем йогу.
On this day, in many different Russian cities and towns, the yoga practitioners, they go out, they gather together in some parks or some grounds and do 108 rounds of Surya Namaskar, which is good for health and for for spreading of yoga, for showing the yoga benefits for other general people.
Где рассказываем о всех методах йоги, рассказываем, насколько она многогранна, рассказываем терапевтическое воздействие, реабилитационное воздействие, да.
And there we also explain people who are interested about the benefits of yoga, for health, its psychological and spiritual impact, its therapeutic effects. We promote yoga for general people.
И вот хотела бы рассказать одну веселую историю. Когда мы делали проект 1 июня для сбора средств онкобольным детям,
And one day, I want to tell you this story, that one day on the 1st of June, we made this project. We made some activities to collect money so that to send this money to help the oncology, with children with oncology diseases.
В этот день буквально погода разозлилась, и шел сильный дождь, а площадка была открытой, и мы ждали, когда пройдет этот дождь, и мероприятие срывалось, и мы очень волновались.
We were very much worried because the weather was not on our side, and it was raining, and it was very cold, and the streets of the city and the parks, they were empty, and it seemed that our project is going to be a total crush.
И все наши волнения, чувства, эмоции, они уже были напряжены.
And we were very tensed, we were very emotional, we were a bit much stressed.
Но, собравшись с духом, я сказала в любом случае всем быть, и все организации, которые были причастны, клубы, инструктора, собрались за 5 минут на месте, где это проводилось.
But still, I decided that we have to do it, and I told all the volunteers, everybody that was were involved, just please, I ask you to be there in time, and everybody was in time.
Я сказала, давайте сделаем глубокий вдох, полный выдох, и все равно проведем это мероприятие.
I told you, okay, let's do like this. Let's breathe in. And let's breathe out, and we start doing what we planned.
И в этот момент буквально над площадью было сотни людей для организации этого проекта, разошлись тучи, буквально над нами на небе стало голубое небо и открылось солнце, И в
And
течение часа
which was surprised at this moment, their sky opened, their clouds partially went away, and the sun started to shine brightly, and it also became the faces of the people. It was around 100 people who came for this project. They also started to shine brightly, and that was a big surprise and like a big nature support.
мы провели мероприятие, и как только мы закончили наш проект, огромное количество людей, которые проходили рядом, они присоединялись к этой акции, и ровно через час снова закрылись тучи, и начался сильный дождь, но мы успели все организовать для малышей и провести. И я хочу сказать, что это не сам проект, не само усилие, то, что мы затратили столько физических и моральных сил, а именно, как сказать-то, что мы это делали вместе, ну, наверное, это и есть для нас йога. Вот этот момент, он очень впечатлил и вдохновил всех, кто участвовал там, для дальнейших добрых дел.
So within 1 hour, the weather was sunny, and the weather was perfect, and we did everything that we planned, and a lot of people got involved, and a lot of people joined the project. And just when we finished everything, then sun gone, and it started raining again. But the thing is, we felt satisfaction that we planned whatever we completed whatever we planned, and this was successful, and this was beneficial for this children with oncology. This was beneficial for the society, and I see it as a type of yoga. This is also a type of yoga that unites people, that unites our beneficial thoughts and plans and deeds, and it makes the life of society better.
Это то, что касается наших благотворительных актов, актов доброты.
Далее were just a few words about our charity activities, and next.
Также у нас в России открыты йога-центры, которые занимаются восстановительными функциями организма после различных заболеваний, травм, как реабилитация.
In Russia, there are also a lot of some yoga centers that are specializing on therapeutic effects, on rehabilitation, and helping people with to cure different diseases.
Мы подбираем физические упражнения на развитие гибкости, подвижности, восстановления суставов, мышц. И также мы подбираем...
For each person we make special programs, special set of asanas we design for them, so to help them to overcome their problems, their physical problems, their diseases.
Также активно мы работаем с органами грудной клетки, да, дыхание, легкие, сердце, подбираем огромное количество пранаям, которые имеют очень мощный терапевтический эффект для восстановления здоровья.
And also another specialization, we design special programs for people with problems of respiratory system, with the lungs problems. We have a lot of different pranayamas that we recommend to different people according to their situation and their condition.
И сейчас наши инструктора, которые обучены по йоге, дыхательным практикам, они работают в центрах, ковид-центрах. Да? На сегодня у нас состояние в Бурятии конкретно достаточно сложное, и у нас жесткий карантин.
And also some of our instructors who have this special yoga instructors who has this specialization on breathing yoga and pranayama. Now they're working in COVID centers because here in my area in Buryatia, it is also now very tense situation with this virus, and we have a strict lockdown here.
И также мы много работаем с точки зрения глубокого расслабления, медитаций, как успокоение волн мыслей, йога-нидры, глубокого расслабления тела, что способствует быстрому восстановлению, ну, в сложных ситуациях со здоровьем.
Another direction, we teach people for meditation, yoga nidra, which is very important for many people and helps them to to get their inner peace, to recover from some mental stresses, from some tense life situations.
Далее. Также мы много путешествуем и развиваемся по Индии. И в одной из поездок мы познакомились с доктором Субрамани Рау.
Also, our center, in our center, we organize tours to India, to spiritual centers and yoga centers of India. And one of our trip, we had enough luck to meet Ayurveda doctor, Dr. Subramania Rao Jagannath.
Наши отношения сложились достаточно теплыми. Мы познакомились с такой наукой более, как сказать, более глубоко, плодотворно, как аюрведа, чему очень рады. И
there we had a chance to get more idea and to have practical experience about Ayurveda that made us really very happy.
И с радостью приезжаем уже 3-4 год до закрытия границ. Не только сами для себя, но и огромное количество людей приезжает с нами. И мы поправляем тоже свое здоровье.
Since that time, it's last 3 or 4 years, we are regularly visiting this Swastika Ayurveda Center to recover our health, to regain more energy, and not only we ourselves, but also many other our students. They also now started to visit this center, feeling a practical effect.
Ну вот, благодаря, собственно, нашему знакомству, мы сейчас вот знакомимся с вами.
So, and thanks to Dr. Rao, now I have this privilege to talking to you.
Поэтому, как бы, это и есть, наверное, йога, да? Она сопровождается разными ее аспектами. Конечно, для дружелюбия, международных отношений, какая разница, кто ты, да? Какого вероисповедания. Главное, что ты счастлив.
And so this may be another aspect of yoga that also helps to unite people from different countries, from different nationalities, because for yoga, it doesn't consider what is your religion, what is your nationality, just it needs practicing to obtain more physical health, mental and spiritual balance.
Если у кого-то есть какие-то вопросы, вы можете задать, как еще йога существует или развивается в России. Ну, здесь уже, наверное, надо более подробно рассказывать о конкретном учреждении, да, как это существует и развивается на фоне фитнес-программ, либо это более глубокое понимание школ йоги, так как течений очень много.
Yes, and also talking
кундалини.
about Russia, also there are different ways. Like some people they do or practice or promote more physical types of yoga. Sometimes it's more close to fitness. Some people, some teachers, they practice and open different centers of different branches of yoga, Ashtanga yoga, Kundalini yoga, and so many others. It is so many varieties there are.
Я практикую как реабилитолог, терапевт, хиропрактик, работаю с системами репродуктивной, органов репродуктивной системы и терапии позвоночника.
I practice yoga not only for general well-being, but also I help people to recover. Like I work like for rehabilitation. I help people to recover after some big health problems. Also, I specialize to restoring the balance of reproductive system and the yoga and the yoga programs for healthy bones, for healthy back.
Практикую согласно в системе традиционной и нетрадиционной медицины по показаниям, противопоказаниям.
And I also use and see the indications and contraindications, both traditional and allopathic different health systems, because we should take the best from everything, from everywhere.
Ну, собственно, вот таким образом складывается у нас общение, да, и рассказ о йоге.
Yeah, so this is my story about yoga. Maybe if anybody has any specific question, just to make it some more interesting for you to discuss any specific things.
Hello.
Гена, может быть, у тебя есть
Namaskar.
вопросы?
Good morning. Thank you very much, Olga.
Mhm.
So can you just say a little bit about how, because you are running the institute, there your students are there. So what they get from yoga, how they transform, just to give your input through your experience.
Оль, ты поняла, если можно, вот из твоего опыта, вот как йога изменяет людей? У тебя есть разные ученики, может, какой-то пример, как йога помогает трансформации вот такой наглядной?
Ну, на самом деле учеников, как сказать, каждый приходит на пути к себе, да, как бы по собственной воле.
So practically all the people who come to me, who come to yoga, they do it with the awareness, and they come, it's their own decision to start doing yoga, to start changing something.
Ежедневно у меня проходят утром и вечером тренировки в количестве от 50 до 100 человек, групповых программ.
Every day I have morning and evening programs with from 50 to 100 attendees.
И за 20 лет практики в йоге эти люди, которые посещают до сих пор, и те, которые тоже присоединились, и это количество людей растет, оздоравливая с помощью на тренировках свое тело, ум.
And some of them practicing yoga with me from the very beginning, since last 20 years. Some of them joined lately, and they feel this effect of health effect of yoga.
Избавляясь от каких-то своих проблем со здоровьем, ограничений, оздоравливаясь самостоятельно с помощью собственных усилий, но до комфортных ощущений. Естественно, я поправляю и говорю, куда надо двигаться, куда нет.
It is the main thing. It is their own efforts, their own practice that help them to change, to transform, to recover. Yes, of course, sure, I help them. I direct them in the right way, in the right direction, in the way that suits this very person.
И самые сложные случаи по здоровью, да, это личные, они у нас ну, как сказать, ограничиваются общими нагрузками и переходят на персональное, индивидуальное разбирательство состояния здоровья.
And if there are some people with specific problems or specific diseases, then they have basics. They have basic yoga with general group, and then they have their own individual programs.
И оздоровилось уже за это количество более 1000 людей, и до сих пор они занимаются.
Yes, and more than 1000 students already visited my centers, my classes, and most of them, practically every one of them, got the yoga benefits and got this or that type of transformation.
И практика йоги рядом с нами, да, она сделала их тела здоровыми, и я думаю, что это и есть самый лучший результат, что они уже на протяжении стольких там 10-20 лет, да, многие дальше продолжают практиковать, и это привилось у них в жизнедеятельности для здоровья их семьи.
And so many of these people who are practicing, still practicing after this 10 or even 20 years, they're still practicing yoga, and their families, family members, they also start getting involved in yoga. So they're spreading yoga in their families. It shows that there is a good result, there is a good effect.
Ну и самый сложный случай, когда я восстанавливала человека, женщину, 51 год, после инсульта.
The most difficult case was that I got involved in rehabilitation of a lady aged 51 years after this brain, after insult.
Врачи сказали, что этот человек не будет жить, лучше бы он умер. Прошло 7 месяцев, этот человек сейчас живой.
There was a sudden rush of blood into brain, and she got paralyzed, and the allopathic doctors tell that that's practically the end. Maybe a few weeks only left for this lady. But now, сколько времени прошло?
7 месяцев.
But already 7 months passed, and this lady is still alive, and she's feeling better, and she's recovering.
На сегодня этот человек живой, здоровый. 74% поражения было левого полушария, правая сторона парализована, и мы ее забрали.
Her right part was totally paralyzed. The right part of the body was totally paralyzed, and left semi-brain was left brain was so it was hurt more than 78% was affected. Yes.
И случай произошел после ковида в октябре, и сейчас этот человек с помощью практик йоги в том числе, каждодневных занятий реабилитации, дыхательных практик, сидит, разговаривает, в сознании 99,9%, и уже мы пытаемся вставать.
That was after COVID infection, but now after 7 months, and due to a special program that we made for her, and every day with some yoga practices, breathing practices, pranayama practicing, some other practicing. Now she's already sitting, she can talk, she's in full awareness, and now she is trying to stand up and to make her first steps.
Также применяем аюрведические массажи по маслу.
This rehabilitation program also includes Ayurveda massages with some Ayurveda oils.
Работаем на всех аспектах, поэтому каждый случай индивидуален, и чтобы конкретно рассказать, ну, это, наверное, займет много времени.
Yeah, so like each case is very specific, very individual, and it may take a lot of time to tell about each and every case. That's what the most latest and interesting.
Thank you, Olga. And also one more like I have a small question. So in general, what is the opinion or view towards yoga from Russian community? Because sometimes they don't accept it. Now, what is the situation? Whether really people accept it, whether government supports it?
И вопрос общий. Какое вообще отношение к йоге в российском обществе? Потому что я иногда сталкивался, что люди не принимают йогу. Вот как сейчас ситуация с принятием йоги? Как относится правительство к йоге? Какая общая ситуация?
На сегодня, вы знаете, ежегодно ситуация по йоге, очень частый, кстати, задаваемый вопрос, спасибо.
Yeah, that's very often question. Thank you for this question.
Очень многие почему-то думают, что йога – это религия, и они придают свое своего Бога. Но для каждого это как бы что-то свое, да? Что сначала нужно спросить для вас Бог?
Here, yes, there are some people who consider that yoga is a kind of religion, and if they start practicing yoga, then they betray their own God. So there is such a tendency, but then I ask them, just you ask yourself, what is God? What do you consider, what is the God?
И, конечно же, я с улыбкой отвечаю на этот вопрос, потому что для меня нет границ, для меня все едино сознание. И поэтому я всегда говорю о том, что йога — это целая наука, которая приносит огромное количество знаний, богатства на пути к себе, приносит радость, благополучие, объединяет огромное количество людей.
So then I smile and tell that God is not something separate. God is omnipresent. But which is more for me, yoga, it is not a religion, it is a science. It is the science that covers many, many different aspects and spheres of health and relations and some other aspects of life, and so practicing yoga, going deeper into this science, it only makes the health of a person better, the life of a person better, and it makes the society better.
И сегодня йога официально признана в России. И
today yoga is officially accepted in Russia.
И проводится практически во всех спортивных клубах, проводится просто инструкторами на улице, как популяризация. Проблем нет.
Practically every sports center, every gym has some yoga classes, yoga instructor, and very often, especially in summer when it is warm, you can see the yoga instructors who are giving classes outside somewhere in the parks, in public gardens, and so there is no problem in accepting yoga in Russia.
Ну, иногда даже сегодня новички, которые приходят на практику йоги, задают еще такой вопрос, но, как правило, заблуждение очень быстро рассеивается.
Yes, sometimes even now, sometimes people who come first time to join yoga classes, they ask the same question about yoga and religion, but this goes away very quickly after 1-2 classes. They forget about this question and everything is fine.
И сейчас система официального, получается, статуса, да, в России, она тоже признает йогу как официальную дисциплину, и популяризация растет с каждым днем.
And so officially yoga is accepted in Russia like a method of improving health of a person, health of a society, and thanks God, yoga is spreading in Russia now.
Thank
И
you.
даже-
Also, one more thing. Is there any official universities or state-run programs to promote yoga in Russia?
Есть ли в России какие-то официальные правительственные либо государственные программы по продвижению либо распространению йоги?
Any universities?
Допустим, изучение йоги тоже в университетах, какие-то изучения йоги официальные?
Да, сейчас есть в Санкт-Петербурге Институт восточных реабилитаций.
In St. Petersburg, there is Institute of Oriental Rehabilitation Methods.
Лицензионный статус имеет, сертификацию. Он обучает такие дисциплины, как хатха-йога, йога-терапия.
And it is officially government has a license and certificate from the government, and so it gives this subject as yoga therapy.
Под руководством Артема Фролова, он и является основателем этого института.
And it is under supervision of Mr. Artem Frolov, who is the founder of this institute.
Врач-кардиолог с 25-летним стажем.
By profession, he is a doctor, he is cardiologist with 25 years of experience.
Вот, который 10 лет назад потихоньку шел и и основывал, и развивал этот институт. И буквально лет 5 назад приняли официальный статус.
Last 10 years, he was developing this institute, and 5 years ago, they got the official status, official licensing and certification.
Очень успешно развивается, огромное количество студентов ежегодно прибывает в стены этого вуза.
Now it is very successful and institute, and every year more and more students want to join that.
Ну и также студенты из России, да, они развиваются в разных школах, течениях Индии, Майсура, Ришикеша, Бангалора.
And so many students from Russia, many people from Russia go to India to study yoga, to get unofficial or official education. They visit Mysore, they visit Rishikesh and other places.
И также часто проводятся разные учебы, мастер-классы, но это уже все, личная практика.
Yes, and so also a lot of different short-term courses in Russia, or master classes, seminars on yoga. So you have a very wide choice and variety.
Also, any Indian yoga teachers doing any courses there regularly, or anybody? What opportunities Indian yoga students or teachers?
А если в России преподаватели из йоги? То есть вот наша публика, вот люди, которые изучают йогу, студенты йоги, вот для них как вариант там карьеры либо продвижения в России как преподаватели йоги.
Только как мастер-классы на международных конвенциях Nike, Reebok приглашают разные школы Айенгара, Кундалини, также хатха-йоги, да, универсальной йоги и аштанга-йоги. То есть проводятся только мастер-классы.
Practically now it is like this with the foreign specialists from Indian specialists. Mainly it is we invite different Indian masters from different schools, Iyengar and Ashtanga and different, to take part in some yoga conferences, to give them master classes, to some short-term seminars, so for some international conferences that are held in Russia. And now this is the way.
Сейчас это в основном в онлайн-формате в связи с ограничениями.
And of course, last 1 year and a half, considering all this virus situation, everything is online.
And what do you think about the food habits of Russian people? So whether your local food habits or diet is really accommodate the concepts of yoga? What is your view?
Вот, а как ваше мнение насчет питания? Вот пищевые привычки, пищевые предпочтения российских людей, насколько они сочетаются с йогой, насколько люди, которые занимаются йогой, принимают йогический стиль питания?
Наверное, начну с того, что мы живем в разных континентальных климатах.
Let's start with the fact that we're in different climate conditions.
Несмотря на то, что мы все с вами существа в человеческом обличии.
Although all we are same, we are human beings.
У кого-то есть предпочтение к более тяжелой пище животного происхождения, у кого-то более к легкой растительной пище. И несмотря на то, что
some people have their preferences for more heavy food, animal food. Some people have preferences for more light vegetarian food.
И несмотря на то, что мы живем в зоне резко континентального климата, если у нас зима, то это минус 40, если это лето, то плюс 30.
Here in our area, the climate is very, there were strong, very big changes. In winter it may be -40, in summer it may be +30, 35.
Поэтому, наблюдая за едой, за питанием, да, как источник энергии и правильность ее употребления, конечно, с годами мы научились как-то гармонично подходить к этому моменту тепла, холода внутри себя с помощью питания.
And so, of course, yoga helps you to understand these correlations between the weather, between the climate, and between your own body. And with the years of practicing, you started to feel and to understand how to balance the coldness or heat of your body and adjust it to the environment.
И с помощью знаний аюрведы разобрались, как в нашем климате, какие источники питания, количество продуктов, да, употреблять в той или иной зоне временного периода, что благоприятно сказывается как на больше, конечно, мы вегетарианцы, больше питаемся растительной пищей. Ну и есть люди, конечно, которые, практикуя йогу, ну, продолжают питаться животного происхождения, но это нормально.
Thanks to Ayurveda, now we and our students, they have more and better idea how to understand your own body, how to balance your food, so it gives you maximum energy and it doesn't harm you. Yes, most people here in my classes who practice yoga, some of them prefer mostly vegetarian food, but still there are some people who are practicing yoga and still taking non-veg food, but I don't think that's a big problem.
И также мы благоприятно проводим аюрведические мастер-классы, беседы для людей, делимся, как мы сами питаемся, как это сказывается на нашем здоровье, настроении.
But
да?
for these people and for all our students, we organize special seminars and master classes and lectures on Ayurveda diet, on yoga diet, and try to tell people about the basic principles of yoga diet and Ayurveda diet, and it helps people.
Рассказываем о препаратах, да, аюрведических, как они тоже способствуют для нашего здоровья. Ну и, конечно же, личный пример, да, это
We
то,
are
что
telling
нас...
people about the Ayurveda principles of food, Ayurveda principles of life. We are telling people about different Ayurveda medicines that can help them. But the main thing is our own example. People are looking at us.
И, конечно же, они видят, что мы каждый день, как сказать, трудимся для блага их, да, они видят, что мы не болеем, они видят нас всегда с улыбкой, в здравии, что мы всегда готовы помочь, да. Вот.
And when
И каждый
people
раз...
see us every day, that every day we are doing a lot of classes, but we are energetic, we are smiling, we are very positive every day, we feel good, we are in a good health, we are in a good mood, then they started to take it more seriously and they want to follow our lifestyle.
И, конечно же, мы делимся радостью о своем питании, да, о других источниках энергии, рассказываем, что мы применяем, как готовим. Даже практически ежемесячно собираемся и проводим мастер-классы дома или организовываем приемы где-то, снимая, арендуя помещение кухни, да, и огромное количество...
With a big pleasure and warmth in our heart, we share our attitude, our approach to food. We tell what we eat, we tell how we cook, we tell about other methods to support this positive mood, to support this good energy, and we invite people to our house for some cooking classes, or sometimes we take a rent of some cafe with some kitchen and organize larger cooking classes and some diet and food parties on like vegetarian food parties.
Olga, tell me, can you tell some input about the mental status, how the pranayama are different? I think like you are practicing this Sudarshana Kriya or other pranayamas or breathing techniques, how it has influence in your people. What your observation?
Оль, вот пару слов. Вы практикуете Сударшана Крию, пранаяму, и как это воздействует на ментальное здоровье? Вот ваше наблюдение, ваш опыт.
С 2007 года я практикую дыхательные практики.
I practice breathing techniques since 2007.
Я вижу, насколько мой уровень жизненных сил поддерживается и вообще не падает, а только растет.
And I feel like my own level of vital energy, it is not going down, and it is still increasing even.
Работая по 12 часов в день,
I work 12 hours a day. I work 12 hours a day, and also like I have to take a lot of decisions during my job.
Ум всегда ясный, хорошее настроение. Иногда физическое тело устает.
My mind is always clear. My mood is always high. Sometimes the physical body get tired. Yes.
Состояние ума спокойное. Я всегда принимаю четкое решение, ясное.
But the mind is always calm, and it helps me to take calm, balanced, well-balanced decisions.
Также появляется, знаете, видение таких тонких моментов, когда ты, ну, как сказать-то, без напряжения, да, а сил еще много, как сказать, хочется делать еще больше.
Yes, and also you start to feel some more subtle energies, and you feel that you have no tension, you have a lot of energy, and you can do even more, you can improve even more yourself and people around you.
Это дает мне очень глубокий отдых внутри себя. Если я немного устаю, я делаю уджай дыхание, трехстадийные пранаямы. Делаю
If I'm
практики.
tired, then if I feel more tired, then I do Ujjayi breathing. I do 3-step breathing.
Делаю Сударшан Крию. И каждый день я медитирую.
I practice Sudarshana Kriya, and I do meditation every day.
2 раза в день медитация, утром и вечером.
Two times a day I meditate in the morning and in the evening.
И та садхана, которую я выполняю 1 раз в день, прилагая, как сказать, неотъемлемую часть в этой жизни, после этого все оставшееся время работает на меня.
Yes, and so I spend some time every day on it's like my sadhana, and then it supports me during all other hours, and during all other time it supports me, giving me more energy, giving me more success.
Wonderful.
Это наполняет меня энтузиазмом.
Wonderful.
It gives me more enthusiasm.
Wonderful. And people generally, what in my opinion, people say always, when I ask, do you practice yoga? They say yes. How many times? Once in a week or once in 15 days. So do you think if anyone practices once in a while is still good, or do you think there should be a practice every day, at least for half an hour or 45 minutes? What's your opinion about it? Because this is a question, this is what I see always whenever I travel in Russia.
Очень часто я встречаюсь, особенно когда приезжаю в Россию, люди говорят, да, я йогой занимаюсь регулярно. Регулярно это как? Он говорит, 2 раза в неделю или раз в неделю. Вот как твое мнение как преподавателя йоги? Вот достаточно занятий там раз в неделю, либо 2 раза в неделю, либо все-таки более полезно заниматься чуть меньше, но ежедневно?
Все-таки я рекомендую, придерживаюсь такого баланса, как бы чуть меньше, но ежедневно. Можно 2 раза в неделю заниматься действительно с инструктором для того, чтобы понимать, как ему развиваться и двигаться дальше организму, да? Немножко асан, немножко дыхания, немножко расслабления. Возможно, какие-то рекомендации, ответы на вопросы по образу жизни, по питанию, да?
Okay.
Может быть,
Да, я тоже. Okay. Yes, I also think that it is more beneficial if a person does maybe some less time, but every day the regular practice. And it is good that if somebody has a chance 2 times a week to come for yoga classes with instructor, just to get some support to discuss some questions about some physical asanas, how to execute, or maybe some get some other advices to practice, to maybe to correct something, maybe discuss something about diet and everything from with the specialist, with the instructor. Yes.
и мы с вами каждый день живем, каждый день дышим, каждый день загрязняемся. А эта практика, она дает нам, освобождает нас от токсинов, да, в первую очередь на физическом уровне, от мыслей.
Yes, and so I say to my students also that you better practice every day, at least 30 minutes, do some asanas, do some kriya, because we live every day, we eat every day, we breathe every day, and so we have to clean our physical body, we have to clean our mental body also every day. Then it will be beneficial.
Мы каждый день загрязняемся. Если чистую одежду мы можем постирать в стиральной машине, то внутренние органы и системы организма мы не можем постирать в стиральной машине.
Yes, because every day if we can wash our clothes in a washing machine, we cannot wash our lungs, our other organs in washing machine. But we have to purify them, we have to take care of their cleanness.
Для этого чуть-чуть йоги каждый день.
And so a little bit yoga every day, that's great.
Для здоровья и счастья.
For both for health and for happiness.
And can you tell few words to our students who are now studying yoga in yoga colleges? So what is your advice to them?
Оль, ну, как опытному инструктору, твои пожелания вот тем студентам йоги, которые здесь присутствуют, там, студентам йога-колледжа, как бы пожелания, либо совет, либо наставления?
Наверное, какие-то рекомендации студентам по йоге, которые уже практикуют, да, имеют уже какой-то опыт, трудно дать, но очень важно понимать то совершенство и несовершенство нас, оставаться дружелюбными, обмениваться опытом.
So people who are studying yoga, they are already on this yoga way, and so they already have a lot of knowledge. But the main thing is always to understand and to be aware of your own strong points and weak points. Nobody is perfect in this world.
И несмотря на такие расстояния часового полюса, да, несмотря на закрытие границ, я уверена, что каждый на своем месте, каждый в своем регионе продолжает делать свою садану, да, и полезен обществу.
And to understand, to be aware that to utilize all the positive, to support everything positive within yourself, within your students and other people, and try to reduce everything that that creates any obstacles on this mental path. And thanks to these technologies, in spite of this lockdowns that everybody is locked in their own place, we have this great chance to communicate via internet with no borders in between like-minded people. That's really great.
И как только откроют границы, и я уверена, что наши путешествия продолжатся, мы уже тоже очень соскучились и хотим встретиться, увидеться, обняться.
And so as far as the borders are open, we're looking forward to also to visit India, because we are missing India, we are missing our Indian friends, our Indian teachers.
One
И,
last
конечно
question.
же,
One last
Мгм.
question.
Mhm.
So you have your own group. You know people who practice yoga, who do meditation every day, who follow some good habits or a good lifestyle. So during this pandemic, what is the percentage of people affected or unaffected by this COVID?
Окей, вот как преподавателя йоги у тебя много учеников, которые были, которые есть, которые занимаются. Вот те люди, которые серьезно занимаются йогой во время этой пандемии, есть какая-то разница в поведении, в заболевании, в склонностях и так далее? Вот как те, кто не практикует, и практикующие йогу, что-то можно сказать по
Да,
этому вопросу?
да, конечно, отличия очень видны. Ну,
Yes, there
во-первых,
is a big difference, and you see this difference, and you feel this difference.
Во-первых, те, кто практиковал йогу, мы как практиковали, так и практикуем. То есть ничего не изменилось. Мы соблюдаем все требования, которые выдвигает правительство, да, для безопасности нашего здоровья. Это важно, и это очень адекватный момент. И как бы мы не беспокоимся. Во-первых, мы никто не заболел. 4% из практикующих.
4%, да? Мгм.
Всего, да. Я задаю
Да.
каждый день вопрос и каждый день веду это мероприятие. Никто не заболел, только 4 человека из практикующих, тысячи людей занимается в зале.
Yes, and so because those people who practice yoga, we practiced yoga before pandemic, we are practicing it during pandemic, we'll be practicing after pandemic, and people are very positive. They continue doing their yoga, and on the other hand, we accept all the government rules because and regulations because we understand, we are aware that we have to follow all the rules for better for safety of society. But out of 1,000 people of our students, only 4 people got COVID.
Very good.
It's a 0.4 percentage, and it is a very good figure.
This is wonderful.
Every day she asks what is the situation, and people were practicing in a halls, in the gyms when it was no strict lockdown, but still only 4 people out of 1,000.
Wonderful.
А те, кто переболел, в легкой форме.
Yeah, and some other people maybe got, but on a very light form, and they practically no harm it was.
So, okay.
Yes.
So last few words you can, I think, if I request other participants, if they have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
Okay. Ну, если у кого-то есть вопросы, доктор попросил задать. Так, тут чат. No, thank you. Так, good presentation. Thank you. Wishing success. Okay. Okay, все, пока нет ничего. Okay.
I think question to organizers, maybe we can wind it off.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's not about being good at something. It's about being good to yourself. That was an excellent speech. I thank Ms. Olga and Gennady for the translating the Olga speech, and also an interactive session by Dr. Subramania also. Now I call upon Dr. Deepak for the vote of thanks.
Okay. Все
Thank
было
you, Dr.
прекрасно.
Lakshmi.
Да, все было прекрасно, все было хорошо, всем понравилось.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi. I, Dr. Deepak, on behalf of Government Nature Cure and Yoga Medical College, it's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. My heart fills with lots of gratitude and respect for our distinguished guest speaker, Olga Boldyreva, for not only sparing your invaluable time for us to grace this occasion, but also enlightening us with their commendable talk on the subject general well-being of Russians. It was informative. And also, I would like to thank Gennady Todorova for beautifully translating Russian to English. Thank you so much.
Доктор
Спасибо.
Дипак принес искреннюю благодарность Ольге Болдыревой за то, что вот разделилась своим опытом, нашла время, поделилась все. Ну и мне спасибо как переводчику, спасибо большое.
Thank you
Спасибо.
very much. Хорошо.
Thank you.
I extend my gratitude to Dr. Subramania Rao, sir, for coordinating a space and today's session and making this webinar meaningful. Thank you, sir. And also, I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. Radhakrishna Rama Rao, for constant support. Also, for the organizing committee, I would like to thank. And also, I would like to thank our audience for the active participation. Last not but the least, I thank my colleagues and my dear students for active participation. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Спасибо большое, Ольга. Будьте здоровы.
Доктор Рау,
Thank you.
доктор Рау, Геннадий, организаторы, огромное спасибо. Welcome to Home Russian.
Thank you for inviting and welcome to Russia. Okay, then we.
Thank
you so much.
Yes.
I request all the participants, there will be a short break. The next session will be starting at around 11:30. I request all the participants to gather at 11:30. Thank you.